everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia. What's happening, folks?
Sam Healey.
This is part 2 of our preview for Essen. We decided to take a look at 100 different games from Essen, and this is 20 more of them. So let's get right into that. If you want to know how we picked the games and stuff, basically we just picked ones that at least one of us was very interested in. Or all of us were somewhat interested in, which combines to become very interested.
That works.
All right. So the first is The Curse of the Black Dice. This is from, well, yeah, it's the order they're in here. This is from Board and Dice. This is, I don't know. I'm interested in this one, I think, because, well, a couple things. It has a random die mission generator. It's 20 minutes. There's dice. It says card drafting, pressure luck. I mean, It just sounds fun.
Set collection. It looks like it's going to be. The dice look like they're going to be pretty cool. Custom dice. So
I like the pirate theme. Is the one thing that's got me
What, the 20 minutes didn't get you?
No, that's fine. I mean, but it's not like a game just because it's short doesn't make it good.
That is true.
If it's at 240 minutes, though,
he's coming around.
if it's at 240 minutes, I'd be like, no, I don't care how many pirates are in it. But it seems like a cool theme, so I'll check it out.
And then from the same company, this one really has me intrigued. That's ExoPlanets. This is another one. It's a medium weight game, which I like, in which you're creating your own planetary system. And I'm kind of pumped about this because, first of all, it's a nice theme. Your own planetary system as opposed to your own Renaissance kingdom.
Right.
Those pictures, man.
And the components really have me pumped up on this. That's
Really?
Yeah, they look interesting. I like the idea.
Tiny discs and cubes everywhere.
I don't know, it has this kind of splash of color. That combined with the theme.
It's splashed, right? Splashed all over the table.
I'm not quite as adverse to this game as Sam, but
I just looked at I see the different mechanics that are there, but I just looked at the game and I was like, this looks like a cube pushing math fest is what it looks like. Because there's a lot of
I'll
numbers.
stick with the pirate game from them, I think.
Really?
We'll see.
I don't know. I think this one looks good. Next one is from a small Russian company called Brain Games. We've reviewed many of their games in the past, and they have several games coming out, but this one caught my eye, and I think Sam will hate this game.
Game of Trains?
Well, that's because...
There's one real specific reason you're going to hate this game, Sam.
Because reading the description of this, it sounds like Racco.
Is it by Reiner Knizia?
No, it doesn't. It sounds like Racco with special powers. Now, I'm not a huge Racco fan, but the theming and the special powers... The theming and the special powers.
But I think Racco's all right, and you throw a cool theme on there. The graphics look good.
Yeah, the graphics do look good.
I like the idea that every time you take a card and discard one of the ones in your lineup, the one you discard you throw in the middle of the table, and that's the other option on your turn.
Somebody else can take it.
You can not take the number. You can get rid of the card entirely to trigger a power written on it. And so that sounds cool. I'm looking forward to that one actually, and I like their style. They typically make these little, very small card games, and obviously I'm a fan of it.
It's possible that there's too many werewolf-style Guess Who the People Are games coming out, but I'm still always interested in new ones. And this one's called Internal Affairs. It's from Capstone Hong Kong Limited, or I think that's what it is.
Means Hong Kong?
I'm pretty sure that means...
I'm pretty sure it means Hong Kong Limited. Basically, there's some people infiltrating the police force, but the police also have undercover agents trying to figure out who these people are. I like the theme of the...
You don't even know who you are in this game, apparently.
I guess not.
No, it's an elimination game, but it's like only 20 minutes or so, and there's infiltrators from the Triad and police force. It just sounds kind of...
I am always
all over the place.
This kind of game. I do like these sort of games where you're given a role and then go at it.
It almost feels like though a lot of these games that are coming out, it's just the same game is getting republished with just a different theme on it, different artwork, different pictures, different designer names, but they're just kind of sharing the same game.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same
Feels
DNA,
that
that's
way.
for sure. They share a ton of the same DNA.
I don't argue that, but I'm always looking for another good one.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I just want to see some differentiation. I'm almost tired of when I'm talking about a game. This game is like this game. This game is like that game. I'm getting kind of tired of that. I want to see some I don't know, dividers go up.
I think there's some that.
Well, this next game is just like
Dividers.
Corridor. From the looks of it, anyway.
This game is called Fendo. I would have taken it. I would have taken the time to call it Fundo or something. It's fun. That's a terrible name.
Yes, it is.
But Fendo is
I don't know what Fendo stands
two-player
for.
abstract strategy game. There's fences, and you're trying to block the other person. This is me and Z, I think.
Yeah.
I'm always hoping, and this company, Clemens Gerhard's, makes some really beautiful-looking games.
They do. I've seen some of their games before, and they are always very well produced. I got the demo one actually, and it was a real fun game. I'm looking forward to this. Sounds like a nice area control sort of abstract game.
Then we move to one of my favorite companies, that's Cranio Creations. They have a game here called Consiglia de Quattro, or Council of Four. Mm-hmm. This is a game in which you are corrupting the council. It sounds like you are controlling the different people in the kingdom, and then...
Right.
There was a game about that a long time ago from Your Move Games, where you tried to have influence with different people in the power. I forgot the name of that was. But I like this idea of being the power behind the throne. And controlling different people.
That theme, most political themes, even if they're remotely political, don't typically entice me. Mm-hmm. And the game did not look interesting. The board is not popping. It looks kind of boring. It's a very drab-looking game.
Artwork.
And it sounds like a drab theme.
Right.
I'm hoping it's interesting, because I do like Cranio Creations. What they usually do is engaging, but this one sounds unappealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this next game, also from Cranio Creations, sounds really similar to a game that we are about to... Well, I guess I've already reviewed it if you're watching the channel, and that's the Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
Right.
It's called Insoliti, Sospetti, The Unusual Suspects, where one person is the witness, and they're trying to get the people to guess who the criminal is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It sounds a little bit, actually... as a roundabout way, it sounds a little bit like Mafia de Cuba, a little bit also.
I was thinking it sounded almost a little bit like code names, because there's like a
chatting,
grid.
Right. It's got that code names, Mafia de Cuba, Deception. That's a good bunch of games to throw in a pot and see what comes out. And the designer is Paolo Mori, who did
Libertalia,
thank you. And I think that's an amazing game, so I want to check this out.
This is the Vasco da Gama. But say, who's counting?
Well, he did the Batman game if we're going to start counting. So
this is more of what I was talking about earlier.
Feels like more of the same?
Yeah. You guys just spent the last, 30 seconds talking about what game it's like. And there were 4 or 5 different games that you were talking about.
All right, but we got to use some sort of reference to talk about games.
I understand that, but I don't know.
But hey, here's another one from Cranio Creations. That's because I ranked these games very highly. Well, you ranked that last one very highly.
I did.
And that's La Torre de Monstri, the Tower. This is a dexterity game, and you have pawns that you're moving through, and you have to put your fingers through and the tower and move your pawn through. It sounds like a game I'd be horrible at.
Hard pass. Put my finger through the tower and
like you stand up and the whole tower comes up.
Nope. Well, it's a kid's dexterity game ultimately, so
yep.
We're not the target audience here, but clearly Mr. Vasel is.
All right, let's go to one of the biggest companies. They weren't like 5 years ago, but now they're one of the hottest, and that's Czech Games Edition, or CGE as they're known for short. Now, this one I'm really excited about, and that's the Prodigals Club, and that's because this is a sequel of sorts, even combining it, says you can do, with The Last Will.
Yeah.
The Last Will was basically Brewster's Millions, where you try to lose all your money.
Right.
Although it's done in a fancy, I say, sir.
Yeah, right, that's the idea. It's in that setting. This kind of seems like the card game version of that. It sort of comes across that way. The theme is mixed up a little bit, where you're trying to get kicked out of some place and lose all your money and offend someone.
I think it's hilarious, though.
That's gold, but if the game is... Yeah.
Are you mad yet?
No.
I'm hoping... I did enjoy the...
Last Will,
the game, the original game, and I'm hoping this is something a little faster playing, and that sort of ties into that silly theme a little tighter.
Yeah.
Because Last Will is a Euro that just happens to have a funny theme.
True, but that theme makes it.
It does, but that theme is like 80% of it, is what I mean. Like, that game without that theme wouldn't be as appealing to me. I'm hoping this game is a good game and then has a great theme on top of it. I don't know if I'm...
That's interesting.
clear.
I liked Last Will, the game, but you're right. If it wasn't for that theme, I would have said it was an okay game.
Right.
The theme elevated it beyond that.
Right.
Then probably even bigger news from CGE is Through the Ages, a new story of civilization. This is a new version of the game. I am hoping that it is a faster version of the game.
It's not just a reprint. It is a.
It is actually a different game.
They actually did some changes.
They cut like probably 10 minutes off of the playing time, so now it just takes you a whole night as opposed to a whole night and 10 minutes.
Through the Ages is actually the longest I've ever seen it played was 4 hours. All right, it's.
Just threw up in your mouth a little bit.
No, I really like Through the Ages. To me, it's probably the best Civilization game that felt the closest to the Civilization computer game, which I love.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you've never played because...
I haven't, actually. I would, but
You would not. It takes years to play that game.
I've got years. I don't have his patience.
All right. Days of Wonder. Now, this one, I was initially told would not be at Essen. But I can't find anything here that doesn't say it won't be. So this may or may not be there. But it's the new map pack for Ticket to Ride. I think we're all in agreement that this is exciting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Please explain why they chose Pennsylvania of all.
Because awesomeness.
No, it's not awesomeness.
I don't know, but both sides.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he from Pennsylvania?
I'm pretty sure he's from the area.
Because Texas would have been a better map.
Also, but Pennsylvania also has a history of all the different train stations,
right.
The train routes.
That's probably why they
None
did
of
it.
the other states have it.
I like...
Not like Pennsylvania.
I'd like that both sides, and they're selling you two maps here in one, hence the map pack name. They both sound interesting, and they're both pretty interesting deviations from Ticket to Ride. Neither one of these is like, hey, here's another layout. No.
Right.
There's like one that has stock management in it.
Right, although that sounds complex, and it's not.
No, it's
collecting.
basic,
it's
but
more of
still.
set collection than stocks.
But it breaks the formula. And then the other side is the one where you have to upgrade yourself to build longer tracks, something like that.
Right, you start, and you can only build one or two routes. You can only build in the England itself. You can't go anywhere else in UK, and you can't use the ferries.
Right.
So you have to basically use locomotives to buy that tech.
That's cool.
That's fascinating.
Both
to me.
of those sound really, really interesting. I cannot wait to try
And the
it.
maps look at that map. That's just fantastic
they
map.
look good. Yeah.
All right, so now we're down to Dyneco games. This is Double Mission Beyond the Object.
Possibly the worst title on all of our list. Double Mission Beyond the Object. What does that mean?
It's possibly, Dyneco's a Korean company, right?
Yeah.
I think.
I think so.
And forget the name. It's a heist game. Yeah. And there's not many of those games at all. Mm-hmm. They're calling it here Ocean's 11, and so they're trying to go in and maybe take some other people with you, and if you help that person, you'll get some points for helping them. Right. So that's called semi-cooperative, but I don't necessarily look at it like that. It's more of a temporarily cooperative. Okay. That's what I would call Cosmic Encounter. Like, we are temporarily working together, and maybe next turn I'll stab you in the back.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling this one. It looks really busy.
Well, then what's that 7 there for them?
He just changed it. He said
I did.
He just changed it.
I like the theme. I did that. I read it and it sounds cool. But the deeper I dig, the busier the game seems and the less penetrable it appears to be to me. I don't know if I can set this up and start playing without. It's just pushing me out from what little I know. Obviously,
I have high hopes based on the theme.
It looks cool, and the theme is catchy, but I don't know. I'm middle of the road on it.
All right. Then we move to one that Sam got on the list here, Oath of the Brotherhood. This is from Desilius Games. This looks like it's another pirate game. Man, pirates are in this year. Mm-hmm. In fact, I like pirates a lot, but I will understand if some people go, I'm tired of pirates. I'm not there yet, but that's... I
like pirate themes a lot. I can take a lot of pirate games, but it's a hot year for pirates, for sure.
I think that's the theme I've seen the most of, probably.
All the way to like Rattle Battle was a.
Yeah, there's a lot of pirate games.
And there's a bunch here.
I just saw a picture. Someone did. There was Talk Like a Pirate Day, and someone showed all the pirate games, and they were all. It's like, oh, that's a lot of good pirate games.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyhow, what interested you about this one?
The mechanics is really what drew me in. There's set collection, worker placements, and those are two of my favorite. Worker placement is more of my favorite than set collection was, and those two things with the pirate theme on it. And the artwork's pretty good too. The board cover isn't very good. It kind of looks weird, but if you actually look at the actual board,
Right.
it looks not bad.
Okay. I mean, I like that it's pirates, but it also, the board to me looked a little bit like more of the same, I guess. It actually looks like a mutated Pillars of the Earth board a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
But that was like, what, 12 years ago or something? I mean, that wasn't that long.
Yeah, it was a while. 6
or 7 years ago. Yeah. So I'm hoping it's interesting. I like pirates. I like we said. I'm not sure if it'll be real fun yet. At least it's not some silly speed game.
Right.
So we'll see.
The next one I know Sam's a big fan of, and that's the Shadows over Normandy. Now, this is is it just an expansion?
Yes.
No,
I'm sorry. It's a standalone game that's compatible with the Heroes of Normandy. Heroes of Normandy was a game that used tiles as essentially a light miniatures game for World War II. This is the same thing, except now Cthulhu has shown up.
Of course, as he tends to do.
I thought this was just an expansion. I didn't catch that it was a standalone.
Well, that's good for you, though, right?
Yeah, it is. That's actually better. It's an 11 now, not a 10.
Well, that's cool, though. I mean, because this is like a U.S. Ranger company lost in Normandy, and then later on you'd be like, let's throw some tanks in. Cthulhu versus tanks.
Yes.
Right.
As much as I'm with the Cthulhu fans, I'd take tanks.
No, Cthulhu, man.
What's it going to do? There's some Cthulhu fan out there right now is like, you do not know how powerful he is.
At first, I thought I was when I saw the cover, when they showed the cover at Gen Con, I was hoping that it was more of a Hellboy-ish kind of universe. It's kind of the same, I guess, but I was hoping it was more Hellboy-ish type stuff.
All it takes is combine some supernatural stuff with World War II, and you got Hellboy-ish.
Right.
Or
yeah.
Wolfenstein or whatever.
Right, sure.
I was not in the skinny on it being Cthulhu, which is I'm not really a Cthulhu type person.
But here's your chance to get your revenge.
Yeah, you just blow him out of the sky.
Cthulhu has killed you multiple times.
Yes, he has, in games, that is.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you clarified that.
I'm just trying to make sure.
All right. The next game is an expansion, and that's for Orleans, which was nominated for the Kenner Spiel. And it's a game I really like, a bag pulling game, a bag building game where you pull things. I'm excited about this because it adds player powers, new scenarios, 5 different modules. I love 5 different modules. That's because you're like, oh, good, and that's a good, but you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm
always happy with that.
Each time you play, you can also decide what you want to include that time. I actually haven't played Orleans, so I'm not excited about this because I haven't played the base game. But
I'm very curious if this will be compatible with the fancy version I just got.
That's important, yeah.
Well, we'll find out soon enough.
All right,
next one is from, Geheimnisvolle Spiel. I love this company because they always seem to have a game that's just some sort of hot kids game.
And they're always right there about to get nominated for a Kinderspiel.
Right, it's them versus Zoc, usually.
Pretty much. These guys know how to do kids games.
And this one is basically just some dragon that moves around treasure, and when he finds it, his nose lights up. I know that doesn't interest anyone here.
Fire breath.
Yes, the fire breath lights up.
Maybe
Sorry, not the
this is
nose.
like the
Rudolph
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Rain Dragon.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sure he's breathing fire, yeah.
Yes, but
it's a very cool looking game.
I'm telling you, my kids will go gaga over this. They will love it.
Or it could be a spin on Operation. Or the red nose.
Okay. The next game is the one game that sounds intriguing, and yet I'm so doubtful about this one, and that's Bang the Duel.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's amazing.
Yeah, me too.
But the whole point of Bang was it wasn't a duel. It's like multiple
It's
people.
closer to Revolver than to Bang. From what I've heard, from what I've seen, it's that style of game. However, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it doesn't sound as interesting as Revolver either. So I'm not. I'll check it out. 2-player games, Western. I'm liking all of that. I'm optimistically going to look into it, but I don't think I'm going to walk away with it. Walk away from it thinking awesome 2-player game.
Yeah, I mean, what did your?
The fact that it took Bang, Bang's one of the games that I really enjoy, and I love the dice game. And I was interested mainly because it took Bang. Maybe if it has the feel of Bang and puts it down to a 2-player game.
I think the word Bang is on that cover because they want to sell this game.
That might be.
It's a 2-player card game.
And if that's true, if it has the feel of Bang, then I might be on board. But if it's, like you said, just a 2-player card game that has the Bang name put onto it.
It's a Western, but again, it's Revolver without the fact that one side is different from the other as much.
You like Revolver a lot. That's been on some of your top 10
This
lists.
is play cards and see and shoot each other. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll find out.
We're all
like I said, it's kind of a.
fact, I'm just saying.
Well, right. Well, that's the thing. Is it going to be good? We'll find out. The next thing's not actually a game.
What?
But I'm excited about it. It's Brettspiel Adventskalender 2015. It's an advent calendar for 2015, and each time you open a door, there's a mini expansion for 24 different games. That's kind of cool.
What are the expansions?
Well, I don't know what they all are.
No.
I know there's one for Abyss.
Woo!
No, there's a whole list of games it's published here. Let's look at some of the games that this is for. Do you think some people are... I think some people are just going to open it up and...
Oh, for sure. I know people at the convention are going to get it and go...
All right, here we go. Abyss, Bonanza, Cacao, Carcassonne Winter Edition,
Ooh, that's the
Castle of Burgundy, Catan, Cold Express. Oh, I want that one. I don't care what it is. Maybe it's like a wooden cowboy. Dr. Panic, Al Gaucho, Fields of Arle, Glass Road, Isle of Skye, Las Vegas.
I want that one.
Looney Quest, Dice Masters.
Oh my goodness!
It's a bag.
You just hooked him with one.
No.
People.
No, now Jason is gonna.
Yes.
Orleans, Power Grid, Rococo, Splendor, Targi, Viva Javi, the coffee game, the dice game, Wizard. That's an old game.
Yeah, that's really old.
Zanguao, Zularedo. That's a pretty good list of games.
That is a good list. There's a few on there I would be interested in.
Yeah, but we could get one, open it who gets this one?
I like it.
Merry Christmas, Zee. I think it's a cool idea, though, and I really hope that it goes over well.
It's very neat.
All right, so just 2 more. The next one's from G3, and it's called Stinky Business, which I know you said the other one was the worst name. This is a name I think is hilarious.
It's a very unfortunate name.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Well, here's what
about like trash recycling, right? And that's
but what's wrong with that? I think Stinky Business is a hilarious name.
Actually, when I was in jury duty this last time, I was on a jury with a guy who was
named Stinky.
No, he was in the Stinky Business.
Were you sitting 6 feet over?
He wasn't stinky. He was in the whole garbage, transportation, recycling. He was in that business.
Gotcha.
Well, this game looks, again, like a middleweight Euro game in that regard.
It looks a little heavier than middle.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm the graphic design of this one, as I look, I'm just like, whoa, that looks fun. I don't mind the theme. There was an older game, I think Waste Management. There was a game about 15 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time
That was
ago.
about the same thing. And that game, for some reason, took that theme and made it not fun. This one makes it look lighter and more entertaining.
Right.
All right, and one more game from Galacta, and that's Andromeda.
Not to be confused with the Alan Moon game of the same name from several years ago.
Right. This one is you're found as an abandoned wreck of a spaceship, and there's great technology. Everyone wants to go in and grab it. But it says, I don't know much about this game, but it's based on the I Split You Choose, which is a mechanism that needs to be used more often in games.
Well, there's also really cool alien miniatures. I just showed you those, Sim. Right. And so what little we've seen of the bits in the game look cool. It's got aliens, and I Split You Choose. Space, sci-fi, I'm on board.
Board setup, area control, dice rolling.
Yeah, man, this sounds
cool.
good. There's very little information on this one, but I gotta check this out.
Well, that's 20 more games for you folks. So I hope that, again, a big thanks to Eric Martin and his Geek List that has all this information. There's 500 games we're not talking about, so you can go look at them. Until our next video, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, thank you, folks.
Sam Healey, adios.
Woo!